The following episode discusses potential demonic possession by an entity that is believed to know when it's being talked about. Discretion and whatever protection you believe in and use is strongly advised. We will not be showing images or videos of this object. Hi.
How's it going?
Well, I was going to adjust my ring light, and then I just shut it off. And then I'm like, well, now we're live. Hi. So I'm in the shadows tonight.
So pretty good then.
Yeah, pretty good then. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Hi, guys. Welcome to a brand new episode of History of a Haunting. I am one of your hosts, Carrie Halper.
And I'm your other host, Laura Ackerman.
Hi, Laura. How are you doing?
Yay. I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. You're having a day. I'm having a day. It's been it's
a week.
been a week. It's been a week.
It's been a month.
Yeah.
It's been a thing.
It's been a year.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, it's constant. Yeah.
You know what would really cheer me up? A new History of the Haunting hoodie.
I think so.
A zippy one.
A zippy one.
Mm-hmm. Maybe
are we getting black. Right into the EVPs?
Maybe in gray. Maybe in whatever other colors that we have available, because I didn't memorize all of them. But
and also we changed the colors like a ton. We're like, here, let's give 6 options. How about this one, that one, this one, that one? And yeah, it was a whole process. So yeah, we've got merch for sale, guys. It's on a pre-order basis. And the sale started Monday, the 1st, and runs through September 30th. We've already sold a bunch. As soon as all of the orders are in, we'll place them with our vendor on October 1st. And then they have a 2-week turnaround time. So I should be able to go and pick them up. It's at a wonderful local place here in Raleigh. I should go pick them up, and then me and my air quote happy helpers, my mom and Coy, will package everything and ship them out to everybody by, help me out, Laura, what is that Monday after the 15th? Hang
on. The 21st.
What? No, the Monday after the 15th of October. The 17th.
Well, I don't know. I just added 7 dates. So I was like, it's the 21st.
Yeah. No, by that Monday, October 17th, we will get them all shipped out to everybody. So come on over to HOAH.
So you'll have them in time for Halloween.
Yes.
I mean, what is a better outfit than a History of a Haunting t-shirt combined with a History of a Haunting hoodie, combined with History of a Haunting sweatpants, maybe a little tank top, maybe, maybe 7 hoodies, like whatever you need.
Whatever you need.
There's a bunch of different kinds, so it's pretty cool.
There is, yeah. And everything comes in 6 different colors, except for the sweatpants. Those come in 3. They're black, charcoal gray, and navy. Laura picked all of the darkest colors, knowing full well I have a red-haired dog. And I'll basically be walking around in what looks like red mink sweatpants.
You also have a black-haired dog and like a blondish haired dog. There's no, like, you make it sound like I did that on purpose. There's no safe color for you. So it doesn't much matter.
There isn't, actually. And I actually chose my bedspread to be patterned so you couldn't see the dog hair as much.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
I love to have dark colored stuff because I am messy and
not because you live in Arizona?
I have a tendency to spill things. That way, they don't get ruined. And I still look kind of clean.
Yeah.
So, that's my plan. So
it
really,
was Yeah, so lots of fun stuff. Go check it out. hoahpodcast.com/shop. The merchandise is live. 6 colors for everything except for the sweatpants. Those are 3. The color choices escape us, but I know that it was like black because Laura was like, we got to have everything in black. I'm like, okay, fine. And also, almost everything we've sold so far is in black. I was like, fuck you, Laura. People want color. They don't want color.
They don't, just you.
Yeah, just me. No. So we've got purple, we've got royal purple, we've got royal blue, red, black, white, mint green, pinks. I mean, just go check it out, guys. It's really, really great. So runs through September 30th. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited.
We are too.
I'm really excited to get my stuff.
I know, me too.
And I have so many people ask me about getting sweatshirts that see the sweatshirts that we had last time. So here's your chance.
Yeah. We don't have crew neck sweatshirts. We just have the traditional hoodies and the zip up hoodies. We didn't get crew neck sweatshirts. We did offer them last time when we did the last hoodie sale, when it was just the ash gray hoodies, the classic hoodie, and then the crew neck, but we didn't sell any. So we were like, all right, well, we're not going to do that this time around. We did pick things that people had asked for, like zip-up hoodies and sweatpants, right, and everything in black.
If you want to be creepy, you need to be able to pull your hood up. I mean, it's classic creeping.
Yes, yeah,
so
for sure.
You're going to need that.
For sure, for sure. And the printing of the zip-up hoodies, the logo and everything is on the back. So
which is super cool.
Yeah, because otherwise it was just going to be like right here and like small and... So
yeah, just a little tiny thing on your chest there, yeah, and like yes, all on the back, like
yeah, the history of haunting screaming at everybody walking behind you, which I love that idea.
Yeah, me too. I'm super excited about it.
I am super excited. So that's that on that. I don't have any other EVPs. We did. Oh wait, I lied. I'm lying. Last weekend we did the investigation of the USS North Carolina, guys, and that place was hella fucking crazy. I recommend everybody go and at least tour it. If you're not interested in doing a paranormal investigation of it, definitely tour it. It is a really tremendous piece of our military and American history. And God, it was really, really cool. We are going to be doing a recap episode with our very special guest, Zak Bennett of Piedmont Paranormal Investigation and Research Team. He's going to be guest hosting this episode with us. And that's not going to be, we're not going to record it we're going to do another Facebook Live, but that's not going to be until early September because legit, there is so much evidence that we have to go through. It was nuts. So that's it for the EVPs that I
And that's what I heard from everybody. I wasn't able to go, but that's what I've heard from everybody that went, just how insane it was. Like, yeah. So much captured, so much felt, so much seen, and heard, like, not just on EVPs, because they haven't all been reviewed, just like sitting there.
I haven't even touched our video yet, and I am only 45 minutes into our audio. But yeah, it's been nuts. We have a group chat for each time we do a location. We have a group chat on Messenger. And so we send each other evidence. We're like, hey, check this out. What do you think of this? Blah, blah, blah. And it's just constant with this one. It's constant. So Laura, I'm very excited to tell you all about it. I really hate when you are unable to join us on an investigation. But I do love to tell you about it and kind of get your reaction to
and
the
I
things
love,
we did. So
Zak is an awesome guy and hilarious and a great investigator. So I'm really excited to hear his take on it too. Yeah, he's such a cool guy.
Oh, so
you will hear like slight squeaky noises in the background. That's just the puppy chewing on his new toy. So if you hear that, that's what it is. Don't be alarmed.
I thought she got a bird.
No.
I actually I thought she got a bird. I was like, what is that? Anyway, so that is, those are our my EVPs. Laura, do you have anything?
No, just that in a couple weeks, we're going to the big Gettysburg Paranormal event. Yes. And we are not panelists or doing a booth or anything. We're just gonna hang out with friends and enjoy the
Yeah.
event just like everybody else. So
Oh God,
if you
so
see us
excited.
there, come say hi.
Yeah.
We're happy to chat, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to report back on that as well. So you guys will have that coming up in the next couple weeks too. So
Yes,
it's going to be
that's
a lot of
gonna
fun.
be that's gonna be a lot of fun. Laura, you and I have never been to Gettysburg. This time, my mom, the live studio audience, she is coming with us. And yeah, like Laura said, we're gonna go and support some of our friends that are gonna be there. We're also gonna go and kind of scope out vendor booths and see how they're set up. And because this is a full on paranormal convention. So we're going to go and check it out because Laura and I are hitting that circuit next year. And we want to, stand out. We want to have the best booth in the business. So we're going to go and just sort of cherry pick ideas and see what we like and what fits best for History of a Haunting. Sam Baltrusis, author and foremost expert on all things Salem, Massachusetts. He is going to be there. Our dear, dear friend Ron Iacovetti is also going to be there. And he is actually going to be having a panel, Laura. So he is going to be talking about his direct radio voice and his book, Paranormally Speaking. I'm putting it like that because the computer is glaring on it.
Yeah, I see the glare.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So Ron and Lourdes are going to be there. Dave Schrader is going to be there, you guys. Dave Spinks is going to be there. Oh my God, so many amazing people. I am going to be just fangirling out the whole time.
I mean, not just because she's with me, but yes.
Every day is a fangirl,
Right.
fangirling out with you, sweet pea. Yeah.
All right. Well,
It'll be a good time.
let's tell them about our super fun episode today.
Yes. As you guys,
This is one that Carrie has been dreading. She is like getting stand it. I love it. So her being uncomfortable makes me incredibly happy.
It is.
As most of you probably know. So
I fucking
I'm
hate
enjoying
you.
this episode already tremendously.
I hate you so much. It is one that we have talked about doing since the beginning of History of a Haunting back in 2019, and one that I have put off until today. And I decided to pull the trigger and just cover her because, ladies and gentlemen, Peggy the Doll is who we're discussing. And I am very, very uncomfortable about it. So Laura, just go ahead with your sources while I cry a tiny little bit on mute.
So, the sources for today's episode are redbookmag.com, dreadcentral.com, dailymail.co.uk, thenetline.com, and ladbible.com.
All right. Like I said, now's the time. Put your prayers up, protections down. Go, Laura. Let's just go. Let's just do it because I can't. I just can't.
All right.
I was like, go. Are you going? Oh my God.
Oh, I'm going to. Okay.
She's not going, Peggy... you guys.
So Peggy is a 3-foot doll with blonde hair and blue eyes. It looks like the typical child's companion, but that only seems to hide the ghostly abilities attributed to her. Peggy isn't so innocent. She's actually possessed by an impish spirit. British paranormal investigator Jane Harris reported over 80 cases of people having chest pains, nausea, and debilitating headaches after looking at photos or videos of Peggy.
Which is why we will not be showing them.
Right, exactly. Harris's team, along with the highly specialized members of the Haunted Dolls social media group, that's a little bit funny, have deduced that Peggy is possessed by the spirit of a woman born in 1946 in London, who died of a chest condition, which may have been asthma. The 4 different psychic mediums who have studied Peggy all say that she is restless, frustrated, and previously persecuted, possibly with ties to the Holocaust.
Oh, Jesus.
Peggy also strongly dislikes clowns and can affect people's dreams.
I mean, at least I've got something in common with her. Cheers, Peggy. Don't like clowns either.
Hold on one second.
Go. We paused. Go.
Okay. We may never know the exact identity of the entity inhabiting the doll, but her effects on people have been well documented. It's also believed that in addition to causing violent migraines and severe chest pains, the entity can even affect a person's dreams and predict tragedies.
No, thank you.
Harris, right? It just gets better and better. Harris, who runs an organization called Haunted Dolls, by the way, I need to know who these people are. Like, I can just picture like an old lady who like it has like 1,000,000 dolls all around her house. You know what I mean? Like, is running the Haunted Dolls, like doing cross stitch, like talking about Haunted Dolls. Like,
Yeah. You know what? I hate this whole thing, so I'm just going to...
I have a whole vision of this.
I hate this whole thing, so I'm just going to just finish my wine now.
All right, do that. Okay, so yes, the Haunted Doll organization.
Yes.
She was sent Peggy by her previous owner, who claimed the doll was haunting her dreams. She'd wake feeling hot and shaken. Harris said, no matter where she moved the doll in her home, the nightmares persisted. Mm-mm. She apparently sought the help of a local priest, but 2 visits later, there was no change. The woman became so spooked, she wrapped the 3-foot tall doll in some old carpet and put it in a shed outside her home and called in the experts.
Can't imagine the doll loved that.
Just throw it the fuck away.
No, that's not. No, that is not what you do to the doll. Oh, Laura. Oh my God.
Throw it away.
No.
If something is bothering you that much, just throw it away.
No. My God.
So after the woman suffered from fever and hallucinations, she ultimately stumbled across Harris's website on Google. When she recovered, she saw no other option but to get rid of the doll. As she was convinced it was at the center of all that had been happening.
Yeah.
Jane told Lad Bible, I was contacted by the lady who told me she had a doll. The doll didn't have a name at that point and said she needed some help. She told me she'd bought this doll at a car boot sale. I mean, car boot sale. Like, stop right there. Don't buy dolls, creepy fucking dolls at car
Don't
boot
buy
sales.
anything from a car boot sale, bottom line.
I mean, that sounds kind of fun. But I do love a good rummage sale, but maybe not for creepy fucking dolls. That's a pass. That's a hard pass every time.
Yes.
Hard pass.
Oh my God.
So, and ever since she'd had really terrible bad luck. She hadn't been able to sleep. She lived on her own, but was hearing footsteps in the house, and she could hear the bathroom light clicking on and off during the night.
No.
After receiving the email, Jane visited the woman's home with a psychic investigator named Hazel to check it out. The woman hadn't slept for weeks. Jane said she opened the door and said, it's round there, and I'm not letting it in the house. I went back into the house, interviewed the woman, and agreed to take the doll to do some research and set up some experiments and find out what was happening. And that's how the doll came into my care. Jane says 4 days into her stay with Peggy, she started experiencing Peggy's wrath. She said she had never seen a case of this intensity before. I
hate all of this.
Mystery illness, Jane told Lad Bible. I was just completely drained and completely fatigued. It got to the point after about 2 weeks where I actually couldn't get out of bed. It sounds like you caught that lady's cold. All right, it felt like if you imagine your body as a battery just zapped completely, I just had nothing left.
It sounds like the nap you and I were talking about in the other episode.
Right.
Wow.
So Hazel came to me and said, you have considered it could be something to do with the doll. And of course it had crossed my mind, but I was a bit dubious. However, 3 days after Hazel removed the doll, Jane was completely back to normal. She said I couldn't deny that that was strange, so I did some work with the doll, but nothing really happened until I put a photograph of the doll on my Facebook page, and that's when things got weird. Things went crazy after Jane posted photos and videos of Peggy on Facebook. The next day, she had over 80 messages from people blaming Peggy for some sort of misfortune. At that point, the doll had no name connected to it, and I just took a photograph of the doll's face and posted it on my page with no information, nothing at all. That was about 8 p.m., and by the following morning, I had over 80 messages and emails from people saying they'd had unusual experiences after looking at the photo. Some people were having really terrible headaches, chest pains. Others were complaining that their dogs were barking and spinning in circles. Oh my God, I figured it out.
Oh my God, that's what our problem is. Holy shit.
Thank God. The explanation is here. They were
Something,
hearing
I don't have a
footsteps,
doll.
light bulbs were burning out. Right? Yeah. Like, it's not because he's a puppy. Peggy, God damn it. There were just something really weird going on. Video footage in 2015 of a doll had been wreaking havoc on a string of paranormal enthusiasts around the world, reportedly causing one British woman to suffer a heart attack.
Nope. 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 Nope.
Yeah, so the videos will kill
God,
you.
please read faster. Jesus Christ. I just need
Okay.
to get this up. I'm like, my anxiety is so fucking high right now. I'm like, she's listening to us.
And I'm just taking the piss. See? Fucking Peggy again. All right, sick of your shit. Some reported flashing visions of mental institutions and treatment bordering on abuse and overwhelming feelings of anxiety. Some are small, like computer screens freezing, sharp headaches, or a sense of dread, but others are more disturbing. One lady said that when she opened a photograph of Peggy, her computer froze on the picture and the room went cold. So she has fucking AOL. She then said she felt someone in the room with her and could hear them moving around. This lady was messaging me at the time via Facebook, asking me to quickly advise her on what to do. Get rid of your dial-up. I took Peggy down into an isolation area and requested that she cease her tormenting. Apparently, everything returned to normal.
I hate it. I don't love any
I know this one creeps you out so much.
So
I don't know.
much.
The haunted doll thing, like, dolls are just creepy. They're kind of like clowns to me, like, apparently kind of, especially like the 3-foot, like, porcelain fit, you know what I mean? Those kind of like
The old Victorian dolls,
yeah, the creepy fucking ones that are even creepier than regular dolls.
Yeah.
So
this one, have you ever seen this one? No, she looks like, honestly, do you remember the original not Freaky Friday, Parent Trap? The original Parent Trap with Haley Mills. She had the short blonde, like, bob. Like,
yeah, I think so.
That's the
with
hairstyle.
The bangs, right?
Yes, that's the hairstyle this doll has. And she's just got a doll face, you know, like bright blue eyes, a little tiny demure smile, but she's 3 feet tall, which already is far too tall for a doll, in my opinion. Sorry.
No one needs a 3-foot doll. That I agree with.
Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Anyway, that's what she looks like. And guys, seriously, if you've ever been to Zak Bagans Haunted Museum, you have seen this doll. If you've never been to Zak Bagans Haunted Museum, you've never heard of this doll, Google it. We're not going to show it. That's all the description I'm going to talk about. I already feel like I'm going to throw up. I don't love any of this. So, we're going to pause real quick. I'm going to continue the story, but I really need to refill my wine because fucking A. We will be right back. Okay, I'm good. So she continued that another lady yesterday said she had been experiencing light bulbs blowing and a presence in her home after she had been speaking about Peggy.
I know, I just looked up. I'm like, nothing so far.
So far, we're good. With Peggy, it's not only while people are looking at her or watching her, it seems to be afterwards too. We have been told that she can affect people's dreams. She recently visited a lady in her dreams, warning her about one of her cats. The next morning, the lady found her cat very ill, and he sadly died the next day. Or that day, rather. Wow. Okay, so she's... You know what? I'm not even going to say it. Let's move ahead, Carrie. There is still a shroud of mystery surrounding Peggy's religion. According to Ms. Harris, she appears to have an aversion to a crucifix necklace that she was previously made to wear, suggesting she is not a Christian. A lot of people, including 2 mediums, have said they felt that she has links to the Holocaust and was possibly Jewish. So, okay, so she probably wouldn't want to wear a crucifix.
Right.
We have conducted automatic writing sessions with her in which the words star and the name David came up. So there is possibly a link there. Are you familiar with what automatic writing is, Laura?
Yes.
Okay. So for our listeners that are not, it typically is when a medium, a fairly powerful medium, can channel a spirit and have them communicate through them. And they just write down whatever it is they're getting from the spirit. So that's what automatic writing is essentially is. So it was during the automatic writing session that a cryptic instruction was passed on to a member of the Haunted Dolls community. The woman in question was a developing medium known as Lindy, and she had experienced paranormal activity relating to Peggy before when her Facebook page kept posting comments about the doll over and over again. She says, quote, "When I commented my thoughts and feelings about Peggy, all my comments were duplicated. No one else's, just mine. I tried commenting on other threads and nothing happened." Humphrey's not down with any of this. Hang on. Okay. She said, "I tried commenting on other threads and nothing happened. But as soon as I went back to that one post, the same thing happened. Also, my dog started barking and my face became very hot and flushed. I felt like I wasn't alone."
That's super funny because my puppies just started barking, so
I know. I'm looking at your face. I'm like, do the cheeks have a ruddy tinge? Are you okay? What's going on?
I do live in Phoenix. It is fucking hot.
Oh, right. Okay, that's true. All right, debunked. Gotcha. Cool.
There's that. Yeah.
Do you get the feeling like you're not alone?
Yes, because there are annoying children here, and a puppy, and a cat. So there's
literally could not be less alone.
Yeah, I couldn't be less alone unless if they were in the room with me. I mean, I can hear them.
Don't say that. They will come in.
Right.
So she continued, "I ended up apologizing to Peggy as I felt maybe she disapproved of us chatting about her and my symptoms stopped. 3 days later, another Peggy video inspired Lindy to have an overdue conversation with her daughter about how they were to deal with her mental health issues. She said, "My daughter has been unwell for months and things were strained and stressful. Late that morning, I found myself having a much needed heart-to-heart with her. All the things I had wanted to say for months were just flowing out of my mouth. I found it very difficult communicating in such a way with her due to her illness. I felt that Peggy had helped me."
She doesn't sound all bad.
She does not.
She's like, "Listen, your cat is sick, and
you need to have a come to Jesus with your daughter."
Right.
Yeah. I mean, if, maybe she wasn't saying come to Jesus if she was Jewish, but, Now, Lindy did not know that the automatic writing session with Peggy was taking place, but when she logged onto Facebook and saw images of the messages received during the session, one seemed to be for her. And I don't see how she could be like, this seems to be for me, because let me read you what the message was. So as she was having this conversation with her daughter, there was an automatic writing session going on in another part of the world about Peggy, with Peggy, and they're at the same time. So I don't believe in coincidences. So this is a really interesting thing. The words, quote, "Lindy, girl, explanation, draw a line," were written on the paper. And whoever got this posted it on Facebook in the Haunted Dolls page. Lindy goes on, "I couldn't believe my eyes. It was basically what had just been talked about between me and my daughter." So she said, or excuse me, rather Jane Harris said, quote, "In order to do the work that I do well, I have to approach each case as a skeptic initially and look for normal explanations for things, just as you do as a paranormal investigator. If it were one or two occasions that things were happening on, I could do that. But with Peggy, I just know there's something more. Peggy is a responsive doll who listened to Jane's requests to stop tormenting strangers. However, she fought any attempt by Harris to try to figure her out." She's muting the dog. It's so funny. She told the publication that she'd had productive sessions with Peggy, but Peggy's behavior afterwards suggested that she didn't want Harris to publicize their conversations. Jane said that her notebook disappeared after one conversation with Peggy.
That's weird.
Yeah.
But interesting.
she goes on to talk about the notebook. So she says, just the other night we held a session with her and I made lots of notes as the pendulum was going crazy. The next morning, I couldn't find my notepad anywhere, and when I did find it, I couldn't even reach it. It had been placed up in the joists of the ceiling in our basement. My husband had to use a ladder to get to it. Many people who saw the picture felt that she did not want me to tell people the information that I had gained from her. And you can also find this picture. She posts this picture of her basement and like where she found the notebook. In her, you can find that online as well. So, as we all know, your friend and mine, not really, Zak Bagans now owns the doll and has it on display in his haunted museum in Las Vegas. Zak Bagans convinced Jane to release Peggy. She flew the doll to Vegas and allowed Bagans to put Peggy on display at his haunted museum. Jane told Lad Bible she's locked away. The decision was made to give her her own room, and she's in a cabinet in that room with cameras on her permanently. I've never been to the museum, but from what I understand, she's actually in the room with the Dybbuk box and I think one other object. I don't know if she has her own room anymore.
Okay. Well, they probably took the Dybbuk box out, so she probably does.
Well, no. The Dybbuk box is still there, but that's another episode. So featured on an episode of his series Deadly Possessions, Peggy is not for the faint of heart. It's said that you can be affected by Peggy by just looking at her in person or in photos. Again, that's why we are not showing any photos of her on the show. As a result, Deadly Possessions aired the episode with a disclaimer for viewers, much like we did. First, for both the show and for the paranormal in general. Back in 2015, a video of Peggy hit YouTube. And it's been reported that over 80 people watched it, as Laura mentioned, and suffered chest pains, nausea, and crippling headaches. This is something that, no matter what you believe, should not be trifled with. And that is wholly what I believe. Bagans says, quote, I was very skeptical of this claim until the doll caused terrifying activity during our filming, including manifestations of flies, camera problems, negative mental effects on me, poltergeist activity, and Peggy the Doll will be displayed at the Haunted Museum, but releases will have to be signed should visitors want to see her. He added, I've met many haunted dolls, including Robert the Doll and Harold the Doll, which is another episode, guys, but none have ever affected me as badly as Peggy the Doll. When we were filming with her on Deadly Possessions, flies manifested out of nowhere and swarmed me, and then I had a dark energy overcome me. I interviewed a woman who told me while crying that she suffered a heart attack within seconds of looking at her. There was no doubting this woman. We also did a seance with Peggy and a well-known medium, and we heard a typewriter start typing by itself. Now that's just creepy.
That is creepy.
That is kind of creepy if you ever hear a typewriter, especially like if you don't have a typewriter, like, uh-oh.
I mean, even if you do, I think it's worse. What the fuck is... Like an imaginary typewriter is typing, okay, that's just sound. If you have a real one, it's typing, it's like something is
and you
there.
see the keys, like...
Yeah, right. The little type thing start popping at the
1,000%. Yes. Tom Hanks, put a camera on your typewriter collection immediately, please. Did your door open?
No.
Oh, I thought I heard a door open. Oh, great. Now it's starting with me. Anyway, I do want to say, I mean, that's primarily the story of Peggy the Doll. I do want to say in closing that Zak had said in an interview that Peggy is a type of haunted doll that will put your bravery to the test if you look at her or not. And there will be strict guidelines for those who choose to view her exhibit, who choose to view her exhibit at the Haunted Museum, including signing releases. So the question is, how brave are you? If you want to know more about her, you can visit the museum in Vegas or read the book that Jane Harris and also a ton of other people have written books on this doll. But Jane Harris's book that she wrote is titled Peggy the Doll, A Very Different Haunting. And like I said before, you can also Google her to see the video and images of her. So, ladies and gentlemen, Laura Ackerman, thank God Peggy the Doll is done. We have told the story, and now I can quit having that in the back of my mind that we need to cover this
Right.
one. It's
You're
a big
still
one.
safe. You're good.
It's a big one. It's a heavy hitter. I think that there are a lot of instances where people think that they have haunted objects in their home, and they're not. I've had friends contact me thinking that one of their children's toys was haunted. Through my training, through my experience, through my research, I've found that objects don't generally become haunted. It's very rare that a demon or something will possess an object. Generally, what happens is that an entity, be it malevolent, be it demonic, whatever, is simply going to use that object to gain attention. Once it has your attention, that's all it needs. Especially if you, in the case with Annabelle the doll, the entity is posing as a child or whatever that may be just kind of attached to the doll and became like possessed the doll. Children's toys, things like that. On the surface, you're probably going to trust whatever it is. You're probably going to trust if it tells you it's a child. But that's how demonic entities get to you. That's how they get into your home. They need your permission. You're probably going to give it to them. Please don't give any weird moving object permission to do crap. Guys, for real. But generally, it's just a spirit manipulating the object. Not that the object itself is actually haunted. That's not to say there aren't haunted objects. There are certainly a number of them. There are certainly a number of legitimate haunted museums that have these objects in them. And it seems to me that Peggy the Doll is one of them. But yeah, it's always a good idea if you think that you have a haunted object to contact a professional or somebody that is very experienced and well trained in the paranormal field to kind of get their opinion and have them do a little bit of an investigation for you. But 9 times out of 10, it's an entity that's manipulating the object to make you think that the object itself is haunted.
Or throw it the fuck away. That's what Laura says. Laura says throw it away. Or give it to someone you don't like. I mean, that's always an option.
That is always
mother-in-laws. I mean, they like dolls. There are solutions to these problems. Is what I'm saying. If you look, you
hard enough, you can find a way. Yeah. I'm often saying throw it in a ditch and burn it on this show. I don't recommend that with a legitimate haunted object because that's not going to work. It's probably just going to piss it off, and then you'll just find a burned doll on your couch the next day.
That would be fucking funny.
Right? So anyway, that is Peggy the Doll.
I'm going to show you something to cheer you up. Okay, you ready? So I went to Kauai this past weekend for a wedding, and there are literally chickens running everywhere. Like I'm in the budget rental car, and there's a fucking rooster that just comes walking through. Like in Moana? Oh my god, the wonky-eyed chicken that like walks into walls. Oh my god. Well, they're just kind of wandering. So I got this rubber chicken.
Oh, I was like, you did get a bird.
He's wearing a grass skirt, and it's a rubber chicken. He's got sunglasses on. And this is the sound that he makes. I bought this to drive my children crazy already. It makes me laugh so hard.
Put that thing up in front of the camera so that we can all see this crazy chicken. Lift it up. Oh my god. That's terrifying.
The dog's trying to get in the door. I heard the chicken. Give me the chicken.
Wow.
I love it. It is.
Thank you. That certainly did cheer me up. If you should find that chicken in bed with you.
How can you be sad with the rubber chicken?
I'm telling you what, man. I don't know. If you find that chicken doing weird shit,
I will.
Call me. I'm an ordained minister. I'm going to have to fucking bless the fuck out of you and the chicken. And probably the dog. Anyway, so that is Peggy the Doll. Laura, what is your take? I think you feel like this is sort of a bunch of hokum, malarkey, balderdash.
I mean, I can't say like these people's personal experiences didn't happen, but um, I have a hard time with stuff being possessed.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think,
Stuff
and we talk about
or
this all the time,
anything.
like dolls, stuff like inanimate objects.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, yeah.
so personally, I think a lot of it can be power of suggestion too. Like if you're signing a release to go see something, and then one, it's built up in your head, and then of course if it's so scary, it's like watching a scary movie. You might have a dream about it later, but
Well, yeah.
attributing it all because the doll is haunted might be a bit of a stretch. I'm not saying that none of this happened, just maybe it's not quite what it's made out to be.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, I mean, 9 times out of 10, an object that you think is haunted is really just being manipulated by an entity. But I do think that there are genuine haunted objects, which leads me into my next thing. And Laura, we weren't going to mention this until we did it, but we recently switched podcast hosts. And when we did that, we lost an episode, just one episode, and it happened to be episode number 5, Haunted Objects. In that episode, you diehard listeners will know we covered Robert the Doll, the Dybbuk box, and Annabelle the Doll. So because we lost that episode, and it was recorded on my old computer that I no longer have, and because I no longer have access to our old podcast host, that episode's just gone forever. So Laura and I are actually going to redo all 3 objects and give them their own episodes. Those are going to be coming up. We do have other locations that we're going to be covering, but we're going to intersperse these 3 objects in new retellings, refreshed retellings of the story and the hauntings of these objects. I genuinely believe that Annabelle is a legit haunted object. For those of you that are very familiar with it and fans of it, you may know that the Dybbuk box has been debunked, which we did not know at the time we recorded episode 5 back in 2019. So we're going to do a whole episode on that. And then Robert the Doll, that wonderful little sailor guy down in Key West, Florida. We're going to cover him too. So that's coming up.
Yeah, the haunted object stories are always fun. I know
They are,
the episode that we did not that long ago was pretty fun last year, I guess.
Yeah. I'm glad to get this one out of the way. It is something that I've been wanting to do since the inception of the podcast. Almost 3 years ago, Laura. P.S. side note. But this one is a scary one. This one I don't like this one at all, and I'm glad it's done and over with. But I also think that if this doll is haunted by a victim of the Holocaust, and she's pissed off about it, well, you know what? She has every right to be, and I think it's a fascinating story to tell. So it's a shame that she doesn't want all of her story and her history to be known. But you know what? That's her prerogative, I guess. I don't know. So that's all I got. Strange history. Oh shit! Strange history, guys. We got to do that.
Are we doing strange history today?
We are doing strange history. Maybe if the button works. It does. Cool. Yay! All right. Let me just get my handy dandy book. We'll flip it to this page, and it is Antiques Roadshow Top Finds. So since 1997, millions have tuned in weekly to the PBS series Antiques Roadshow to see what treasures lie hidden in America's attics, pawn shops, and yard sales. Speaking of haunted objects. Here are some of the most valuable items the show has ever discovered. A Navajo blanket. So a man walked into a 2001 Antiques Roadshow taping in Tucson, Arizona with his family's old blanket. It was hand woven with stripes of black, brown, blue, and white. He bought it He brought it in because family legend held that it had originally been a gift from the famed frontier Kit Carson. As it turned out, it's a national treasure. A Navajo blanket from the 1850s was specially made for a chief. Fewer than 50 still exist. When you walked in with this, appraiser Donald Ellis told the owner, "I just about died." The blanket now hangs in the Detroit Institute of Arts, estimated worth about $400,000.
Wow.
Yes. And I'm going to leave it at that.
I love the Antiques Roadshow.
Aaron, you know what? EKB loves it too. Like, absolutely loves it. I've never been into it. I've never watched an episode of it ever. But a lot of people are super
funny.
into it. Yeah.
I love it when like people think something's it's fun to like when people find out something's worth something, and it's also fun when they find out it's not.
It's junk and it's not worth anything.
I love the faces. They're all,
All right. Is that show still on? Like, is that, or is it
I don't know. I
done?
haven't seen it in a long time.
Okay. All right. Well, so yeah, that is Strange History, guys. And Laura, why don't you tell everybody where they can follow us if they choose to do so? And I recommend they do.
You can follow us at Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at HOAH Podcast. And on TikTok at HOAH Podcast, at HOAH Carrie, and at HOAH co-host Laura.
Yay! All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. We are super glad that you decided to join us for this one. And yeah, if anything weird or creepy happens as you're listening to this episode, let us know. We probably can't do anything about it, but we certainly want to know.
Tell us all about it.
Yeah, and Humphrey says goodnight.
Right. Thank you.
Bye, guys. We will see you next week with a brand new episode, and it will not have nearly the creep factor that this doll does. And also to you, Peggy, good night, ma'am. Please have a lovely evening. And let me dream of kittens and puppies and candy on happy clouds. Thank you. Stay safe out there. You never know who.
Because you never know. Or what?
Like Peggy.
No shit. If Peggy's listening.
You never know if Peggy is listening. Dear God, I hope she isn't. Bye, guys.
All right. Bye.